Good morning, respected dignitaries, media persons, our special guest from CRRI, Director CRI, Dr. Ravi Shekharji, and Dr. Brij Mohan Kumar, Director Dronacharya College of Engineering, and students and media persons from DD News, AIR, PTI, and NISpR family. A very warm welcome to all of you to 5th Foundation Day of CSIR-NIScPR. आज का दिन अपने आप में विशेष है, ख़ास दिन है, क्योंकि सूर्य उत्तरायण की ओर आज अग्रसर होता है और इसी के साथ हम मनाते हैं मकर संक्रांति। देश के अलग अलग हिस्सों में ये पर्व अलग अलग रंगों के रूप में हमारे सामने आता है, मनाया जाता है। जैसे तमिलनाडु में पोंगल, असम में माघ बिहू, गुजरात में उत्तरायण और पंजाब में इन दिनों लोहड़ी की धूम रहती है। तो इस विशेष अवसर पर और साथ ही हमारे स्थापना दिवस के अवसर पर इस सभा में उपस्थित सभी विशिष्ट अतिथिगण और निस्पर फैमिली के सदस्य और बाहर से आए स्पेशल गेस्ट, आप सभी का मैं शुभदा कपिल बेहद अभिनंदन करती हूँ। कार्यक्रम की शुरुआत में जैसा कि हमारे मंचासीन विशिष्ट अतिथि हमारे साथ मौजूद हैं, तो मैं आग्रह करूंगी डायरेक्टर मैम से कि वो उनका स्वागत करें मेमेंटो और शॉल के साथ। मैम, आपसे रिक्वेस्ट है आज के हमारे चीफ गेस्ट डॉक्टर शिव कुमार कल्याण रमन जी का स्वागत करें मेमेंटो एंड विद अ शॉल। जोरदार तालियों के साथ स्वागत। मैम, आपसे रिक्वेस्ट है कृपया स्वागत करें डॉक्टर विश्वजननी सत्यगिरी जी का। मैम, आपका बहुत स्वागत। मैं रिक्वेस्ट करूंगी डॉक्टर कनिका मलिक, चेयरपर्सन ऑफ दिस प्रोग्राम, आप स्वागत करें डायरेक्टर मैम का विद अ बुके। डायरेक्टर मैम, आपसे अनुरोध है कि कृपया स्वागत करें डायरेक्टर CRRI डॉक्टर रवि शेखर जी का। आपका स्वागत है सर। मैं अनुरोध करूंगी डॉक्टर कनिका मलिक जी से कि वो स्वागत करें डॉक्टर ब्रिज मोहन कुमार जी का। आपका बहुत स्वागत। अब मैं मंचासीन अतिथियों से अनुरोध करूंगी कृपया वो दीप प्रज्वलित कर कार्यक्रम की विधिवत शुरुआत करें। Lamp lighting. Thank you. May I now request Director Ma'am, Dr. Geeta Vani Rai sir, to deliver welcome address.
So good morning and a warm welcome to each and every one of you for the Foundation Day of NIScPR. And also happy Makar Sankranti, happy Pongal, happy Bihu, happy Lori. I hope I have not missed any of them. And so a warm welcome to our honorable chief guest, Dr. Shiv Kumar Kalyan Ramanji, CEO, Anusandhan National Research Foundation. Thank you for being with us today. We really appreciate it. Welcome to Dr. Vishwajanani Satyagiri, Head TKDL, and thank you really for making time and being with us today on NISPR's Foundation Day. And I would like to special thanks to Dr. Shekhar from CRRI, Director CRRI. It's really nice that you could join us today. And also thanks to Principal from the Delhi, from the Dronacharya College. And I think the students from Dronacharya College have joined us?
Yes, yes.
Okay. A warm welcome to all the students. We're really delighted to have young students amongst us on this Foundation Day. And of course, happy Foundation Day to all the NISPR fraternity here, the scientists, the technical officers, the students, the admin, finance, and each and every one of you makes NISPR the vibrant institution it is. So a very happy Foundation Day to each and every one of you. I think birthday, when we are growing up, birthday is always special to each one of us, right? Not when you're old so much. Then you're like, okay, I'm getting older. But as an institution, I think now NISPR is growing again. Like after being NISTADS and NISCARE, now we have become young again. And I think it's a time for regeneration. In fact, in biology, they say that, there's a lot of studies going on how to remain youth and, by inducing stem cells and so on and so forth. So NISPR, without doing all that, has become a young organization. So we are just 5 years old. So I think there's a lot to grow, and started in January 14, 2021. I think the foundation stone was laid by Dr. Harshvardhan, the Honorable Minister then, and Dr. Anjana Agarwal, the founding director, and Dr. Shekhar Mande, who was DG CSIR then. So I think while we are celebrating NISPR's Foundation Day, I would also like to reflect that there is a strong legacy which we should not forget, which the two organizations were merged together to form NISPR. One is the NISCARE, which made really a strong legacy in science communication in the country, and NISTADS, which was again a policy and a think tank, which significantly contributed to the country's science policy. So when I was thinking, so I think, as I said, it's an opportunity to regenerate. I was thinking about, I remember Dev Prayag. I don't know, many of you may have gone there. Two rivers, the Alaknanda and Bhagirathi. We all know about Alaknanda and Bhagirathi very well. But when they merge together, do you know what it is called? Ganga. So Ganga has become much more well known. So I hope, with NISPR and becoming like Ganga, and you will remember Bhagirathi and Alaknanda, but you will become much more. This was just an example that came to my head that, maybe you will do much, much more than the two organizations and leave them behind and form your own new identity. So I think, this regeneration and coming together, I think that's really a good step. And it's not just merger of two institutes. Now I see there's a synergy. It's just not physically co-locating, but the two groups are coming together, and there is really so much to synergize and take it forward. And again, my wishes is always that, we need to be a global institution, not just best in India. Let's try to be global. And for that, you need to really have excellence in anything, from the smallest to the largest. And that's my wish. And I would also like to acknowledge Dr. Anjana, who couldn't join us today because she's traveling abroad, who was the one who really took the tremendous challenge of merging the two institutions to make it what it is. And I think the last 5 years has been significant, both in terms of merger and COVID. Despite that, I think many significant initiatives have been taken up at NISPR. Now with this combined strength of about 40 scientists, I think 40 to 45 scientists, and a strong technical support with the technical officers, the students, I think it's a vibrant scientific community here. And just to give a brief overview to Dr. Shiv Kumar, we have 15 research journals which are being published, which are indexed in all the major indexes like Scopus, Web of Science, and they're all Diamond Open Access. So, and they're all Diamond Open Access and online available, and entire manuscript submission to everything is online. And we look forward to working with our stakeholders like ANRF, Niti Aayog, so on and so forth. And we also have 3 popular science magazines, which are Science Reporter, Science Ki Duniya, and Vigyan Pragati, which are more than 5 decades old. And of course, keeping up with the times, we are also doing social media communication through SMCC, and Swastik, which is a flagship initiative, which portal will be launched today, which is about the scientifically validated traditional knowledge, is another initiative which has been taken in recent times. And it's very important initiative. And on the policy vertical also, many important work is being done, like the TRL Technology Readiness Assessment level, which NISPR is partnering with NRDC and providing these services to many industries and technologists in the country. And we also have competency in foresight studies and studies on innovation policy. And also we have worked very closely for rural technologies with various voluntary organizations, taking CSIR's rural technologies to the far and wide in the country. And apart from this, we are involved in Jigyasa, the skill development, and many other outreach activities in the thing. So, and I'm really happy to see that today, apart from the celebration, many of our students are also presenting posters, which we will see after this event. And again, we can engage with young scientists. And I hope the scientists who have come, the students who have come from Delhi University, Dronacharya University, will find it engaging and interact with the students of NISPR. And I think we have achieved a lot, but it's not time to rest. We are only 5 years old. So we have much more to do, and I look forward to, achieving even greater things with the support of all of you. We have already discussed what are the things we want to do in the coming year. We want to expand and we strengthen our research journals by really making it globally benchmarked, both in terms of processes, visibility, and also we want to expand the reach of Swastik. We want to get into popular magazines in regional languages, because India is a diverse country. Today we were celebrating so many festivals. So if your message has to reach, and we are also looking how can we leverage AI towards regional language translation, and already Dr. Mukesh Pund and others are already started this work, how we can use AI to make it much more diverse, our outreach. And of course, on the policy also, we recently signed an MOU with Amrita University and Niti Aayog to closely work and see how we can really enhance our contributions to the government policies, and also to make Viksit Bharat, which is of course our ideal thing. And we also want to foray into science communication research, apart from just doing communication. So these are some of the areas which NISPR would like to focus in the coming years. And again, I think we'll be able to achieve only through the complete support of CSIR-NISpR, our CSIR headquarters, because the vast network of CSIR, 37 CSIR labs, is really a great strength to any organization. And with our stakeholders and all of you. And again, thank you very much for being here, and especially the chief guest and guest of honor. My special thanks to both of you. And again, a happy Foundation Day.
Thank you, ma'am, for your inspiring words. We have honored to have with us Dr. Vishwajanani with us. Let me introduce you first. Dr. Setigiri is a scientist H and head CSIR TKDL unit. TKDL is a tool for defensive protection of Indian traditional knowledge, currently the Indian system of medicine. The TKDL currently contains information about 5.2 lakh formulation and practices from Ayurveda, Siddha, Unani, and so on. She has initiated steps for expanding the scope and user base of TKDL. At CSIR, she had also handled matters pertaining to strategy planning, monitoring, and decision and policy insights. So yes, ma'am. I request you to please share your thoughts with us.
Namaste and festive greetings to all. Dr. Shiv Kumar, Dr. Geeta Vani, Dr. Ravi Shekhar, and colleagues, delegates. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to be celebrating your Foundation Day as well, 5th Foundation Day. As the story goes, in the sense TKDL has been a product of the CSIR-NISpR way back. And today when we reflect upon it, the child is 25 years old, her parent is now only 5 years old. So things change. But what is very remarkable is about, when we talk of an institution, it is all about, what is it that we do? What is it that we produce? If in case the parent had been able to produce a child which is 25 years old and is independent and standing on its own, it tells about the importance and the significance of the initiatives taken during its existence. It could be NIScOM, it could be NIScPR, it could be even NISpR, but it all talks about, the strategic strategy that has been taken and also the implementation. Very often when we talk of our country, often the criticism is that we have fantastic policies, okay, but where is the implementation? And I think I stand before you as something that has been implemented and is seeing success even today as a, globally recognized defensive tool for protecting traditional knowledge from misappropriation. The work that began at NIScOM, NIScPR, okay, and later on now NISpR, is a kind of an initiative which was never been seen before, okay, and it was the first of its kind globally. The reason why I'm talking about the TKDL in NISpR is about, the connection, the organic connection that both the organizations had. And when we talk of such an initiative which is unprecedented and we are able to show success, it kind of tells that the potential that the scientists of CSIR have in building up organizations. 5 years down the line, you are talking about science policy and science communication, which has been the backbone of this very organization, perhaps as two entities. But today we have merged them and then we are looking at a single focus on that. So what is it that it all talks about? We've been able to say that from the CSIR, it's not just only the research and development that is important. Alongside the policy research and the scientific dissemination is also very critical. In fact, Dr. Geetavani has also been institutional in developing the Jigyasa program. Of course, it began way back in 2016-17, but to pour life into an initiative from the CSIR and be recognized not only in the country but also abroad is something that we need to actually appreciate and see what is it that we can do, to develop such kind of strategy and also appropriate implementation towards taking it global. I think I pick your points, Geeta, where you have said that, today it's not important that we only look at the national positioning, but also the international and global ranking that we could have towards policy development and science dissemination. Talking of it again, coming back to the traditional knowledge, we did not stop only with the TKDL as a documentation strategy. Based on what we have been doing in the CSIR, the government taking cognizance of it, the Honorable PM himself said, okay, we are very proud. The diversity and the unity in diversity is what makes us, something different from the rest of the countries. What is it, in today's context, there's often the concern that traditional knowledge is just a matter of archival, and there is very little confidence in assuming or even recognizing the fact that traditional knowledge can be something which is worthy even today, which is valuable even today. That led to the program, the Swastik, which the portal that you would be launching today. So when we talk of Swastik, it is all about scientifically validated traditional knowledge. The reason why we talk of scientific validation today is about taking cognizance of the fact that we are all very rational and very logical human beings, and we need evidence of today to say that our traditions and cultures still have relevance today. And when we talk of it, I think, we forget the fact that the food that we eat, the festivals that we are celebrating even today is also part of our traditions and culture, where we do not take even a moment of concern to celebrate that. We have taken that as a part of our lives, so why not the rest of it? So I think that is where the Swastik initiative came into picture, and also the value that it could impart in imbibing confidence that our traditional knowledge is relevant even today, not just today, even for tomorrow. again, this is only an example to say that, when we can, think of something like this in the context of traditional knowledge and scientific validation, and to imbibe confidence in people that something done yesterday is relevant today and tomorrow, I think NISPR has a huge role to play to say that, anything, even 50 years behind or 20 years behind what has been done for the country would be relevant even today and then tomorrow. I think there's so much that we can do from the validation, if you talk of it, towards policy research. Policy research is again something, which is very close to my heart as well. In fact, I had been associated with the research councils of both NISCHADS and NISPR in my various forms, and perhaps been a little critical at times as well. Nevertheless, today is a good day. Please do appreciate my inputs and not as somebody who has opposed many of your things. But yeah, coming back to the topic of, policy research. I was very closely associated with NISCHADS when the S&T reports from the organization were released by our Honorable President himself during the Technology Day. Okay, I think, CSIR-NIScPR has immense potential towards policy research. I think we have been doing many things in the organization. We have gone into the TRL assessments. We've been trying to do many things towards rural communities and so on and so forth. But policy research is also extremely critical while we pursue science and technology, while we pursue research and development. And that is where, I feel, Geeta, we would have an immense opportunity to see how we can also bring in policy research towards traditional knowledge, which the TKDL unit would be happy to collaborate. And when we talk of a traditional knowledge, it is not just a large canvas of our traditions, culture, festivals, food, and all that. There's so much that the science can also, be brought into every aspect of it. If I talk of textiles, not just the material, but, the other ingredients that go towards making of the textiles, and the handlooms and so on and so forth. There's so many different components. And these different components, when we talk of, are the sectoral focus that we need to bring in. So when we talk of traditional knowledge and also policy research, I think we could do well towards bringing in a sectoral focus to each of these different aspects, and then see how do we promote along the lines of what the country is also doing. Today we have very enriching policies, very bright policies from the country. The National Education Policy 2020 that says that mandates that traditional knowledge, that is the Indian knowledge systems, be part of the academic curriculum at the school level, at the college level, and also the higher educational levels. I think, CSIR-NIScPR and the CSIR-TKDL unit can do a lot towards that. Again, today we are in a world where, the digital canvas, the importance is very, very high. And in this context, that the TKDL is also a digital library and we are using digital tools, it also, kind of brings into focus the importance of maintaining standards. Considering that the TKDL has been the first of its kind, we have been an exemplary towards imparting some of the standards. But when you look at the larger canvas of the digital technology, there's so much to imbibe. And these, at least the minimum standards is something that, I would be interested in, and hoping that, CSIR-NIScPR could also, join hands into developing a policy or maybe a framework towards, identifying what would be the minimum standards for such databases and also any other relevant tools that the CSIR uses, and see how is it that we can bring together. I think I have covered a lot, right from the traditions to the digital era that we are in. Thank you once again for giving me this opportunity to be celebrating the 5th Foundation Day with all of you. Happy Foundation Day. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Your presence during the merger and again today, it honors us. Thank you for your presence and your sharing your thoughts. Up next, we have official launch of Swastik portal. Let's turn our attention to this truly visionary initiative, which is Swastik, as just Dr. Vishwajanni beautifully described it. So I want to tell you that Till date, 81 remarkable stories across diverse traditional knowledge domains have reached the public through Swastik channels. In English, 19 Indian languages and even 5 foreign languages, truly taking India's heritage to the world. So I request our chief guest and dignitaries to please launch the Swastik portal. I request Swastik team also join this. All disseminated stories, gallery of Swastik conferences and activities, Swastik publications. Additionally, the portal enables website visitors to directly share their ideas and inputs related to traditional knowledge. Thank you. Thank you very much. It's now time for the special lecture by our chief guest, Dr. Shivakumar Kalyanaraman, CEO NRF. It's my honor to give a brief about Dr. Shiv. He brings a remarkable blend of academia, research, and industry leadership from CTO at Microsoft Asia to Executive General Manager at GE Power Conversion and Chief Scientist and at IBM Research Australia, as well as a turned professorship at Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute, USA, an alumni of IIT Madras, Ohio State University, and RP. Dr. Shiv is a distinguished alumni of IEEE and INAE Fellows. I request you, sir, to please give your thoughts.
Can we bring up the slides? Okay. Yeah, thank you. First, good morning. Happy Pongal, happy all these wonderful festivals on the same day. And it's very hard for me to keep track of all the festivals. A wonderful day, and thank you for inviting me on this 5th Foundation Day of CSIR-NIScPR. And also my compliments and best wishes to Dr. Vishwajanani and Dr. Kanika as well. And thank you, Dr. Geetavani. You have been relentless in chasing me and and making sure that I show up here, and I'm glad to finally come here. So I thought I'll share with you a little bit about ANRF so that it might be helpful for all the both the faculty as well as the students, and also some of the things we are trying in ANRF from our own communication and outreach. Of course, we have a lot to learn from NIScPR and so on, and I hope that since I come from the world of AI and other things, we might have something to share with you as well. So what I'll do is I'll spend a few minutes just giving an idea of ANRF and how we intend to catalyze India's rise as an research and innovation powerhouse. First, as you see here, in terms of communication, I already have a QR code for my LinkedIn and other things. So one of the thing in modern media is also to not only embrace your own portals and so on, it is also important to work with global platforms. Especially, I was so pleased to hear about the global aspirations and world-class goals, right? If you want India to be a research and innovation powerhouse, the first thing is we have to think global, right? And in whatever we are doing, and world class, and aim for excellence in everything we do. So I'm so pleased to see the top level thing. And as we go along, I will also try to make connections to various things that Dr. Geeta mentioned and Dr. Vishwajanani mentioned. So the genesis of ANRF comes from the National Education Policy, where the NRF, National Research Foundation, was mentioned as an entity which could provide both consistent and focused support for interdisciplinary research and to enable collaboration across all stakeholders. So by the time it became an act and NRF was notified as a statutory body, just about 2 years from now, in fact, next month we will have our Foundation Day as well, and coming up. So it's the first Foundation Day we will be celebrating. So the governance structure as CSIR, we share the same president. We are all both fortunate that the Honorable Prime Minister of India is the president of our institution as well. And we have a governing board and an executive council chaired by the principal scientific advisor. Is it okay? Okay. All right. And I focus on the execution or the efficient administration of the foundation. So this is like a one-slide summary of ANRF, where we are a mechanism of the Government of India, and our goal is to be a catalyst organization. And the biggest catalyst we have is money, which we our support or funding that we think. But our goal again is to use funding to change behaviors and to drive change in the ecosystem. We would like India to become a research and innovation powerhouse as recognized by the world. That is the, and what that means is, and for society we want to have impact. For whether you look at it from a deep tech or a technology perspective, we want to have impact. We want trillion-dollar product companies to be formed, right? At the same time, we want to focus on solving some of the hardest societal problems. So I think NRF as an organization, when we do funding, we will be thinking backwards from impact. Okay, whatever it takes for impact, outcomes, and so on. It's no longer about inputs, like how much funding we are getting, or even outputs, like I'm publishing papers or communication and so on. But for a nation to become great, those outputs or technology or innovation has to diffuse through the economy, has to get translated into products, or other things, or diffuse to have societal impact, okay, at scale. So it's not just important to say I've done a technology transfer and be happy with it, right? So it's important to go all the way and say, what responsibility can I take? Of course, you can't do everything. Like Einstein suddenly cannot become Elon Musk. Okay, so it is important to collaborate so that the entire journey of diffusion happens. And science communication, policy, all of these elements, right, are super important in the diffusion process, right? So, so since the impact can only happen if there is diffusion, and also the other thing I have seen in my own career is that if you're able to communicate clearly, in fact, you can pose your problems better. You can understand what you're doing better. You can also be more impact-driven or societal use-driven in your thinking. Of course, it is very important to also have curiosity-driven research. You can be either curiosity-driven and or purely science-driven, but also you can be driven by use cases. Both of these are equally important for ANRF in our mission. But as you think of the future of excellence and the role you're going to play, think more not about any numbers and quantity, but think more about quality, think more about impact, outcomes, and what the nation needs, and think backwards from that and say, what is it that you're doing that fits into that puzzle? Okay, and we are all puzzle pieces, right? We may be doing something, you may be doing something. How do we come together and we integrate with each other, and for that impact? So what we are trying to do is to do a few things well. Of course, we are doing funding, and we have a few mechanisms. Right now we have an RDI fund that is focused on the private sector. It is focused on giving patient capital. It is not a grant program, and it is a program where we are focused on translation and scale up, because private sector is the natural partner for that. And again, it is focused in a way that ANRF is not the primary allocative agency. We would provide capital to intermediaries or financial intermediaries who then go further and allocate. And the core part of our mission, which is more of grant programs, again, we have a foundational mission of supporting our research enterprise, which is the academia, the labs, and the broader research organizations. But also we have a translational emphasis to be able to take specific sectors and accelerate them. or to take specific industry academic collaborations to accelerate them and accelerate for impact, not just some naam ki vaste collaboration or some two people. So it's good that individuals need to come out of their silos and say that together we want to solve nation problems, because big things, even Nobel Prizes are won because of teams. So, and Nobel Prizes are often won at the edges of disciplines. Even though the Nobel Prize might be given in physics or chemistry, the actual work might be done at the edge of physics. The recent Nobel Prize was done using artificial intelligence for protein folding, which actually got a chemistry Nobel Prize, for example, or if I recall correctly. But I think so. It is important to understand that problems do not represent disciplines. Disciplines are important for depth, but as we graduate from just doing whatever we're doing to having that disciplinary depth towards solving problems, it is important to have that disciplinary depth, but collaborate with each other and try to solve bigger problems and and solve for impact of the nation. So impact is the one message I would like to drill, and think backwards from impact. And communication is a key part of impact, right? If I can communicate better, I can understand what I'm saying better, and that also helps me formulate better problems. So anyway, so RDA is a special mechanism. I'll not talk too much about it, but our goal is to work through second level financial intermediaries who then finally allocate. This is a scheme that is being rolled out. DST is closely involved. And as you think about it from your policy lens, you can look at how all these pieces plug in together, where are the gaps, and then give us guidance about where are the opportunities for new mechanisms, and so on and so forth. Because ANRF as a mechanism, we also have special purpose fund. RDA itself is a special purpose fund. We could have other sectors focus special purpose funds which can do things, but it has to be different from what RDA is doing or different from what our core missions are doing and so on, right? We also have an innovation fund. We can do things like that. So I'd welcome NICSPR to think harder and see and be an outside observer. Because we are so busy executing, but we would appreciate guidance on it. So from our other strategic, rest of our grants portfolio, we think in two frames. One is broad-based or horizontal funding, where like in our ARG program, Advanced Research Grant Program, we give hundreds or over 1,000 grants a year in that. But there, I'm interested in supporting the bread and butter, but even there we're asking people to think bigger and more collaboration. So this year I'm happy to say that we got many more collaborative proposals and genuine collaborations that we were pleased to support. And then that forms the foundation. And then you take particular verticals and you want to provide acceleration. So that comes through vertical type focused research. And think of, you can think of the horizontal more like National Science Foundation, vertical more like DARPA and so on. But we still have to be more bolder. So we're thinking of formats like DARPA challenges, and things where we can bet on moonshots and things of that nature. But we have to not just use vocabulary like moonshots, but we really have to push the boundaries and make impact of that kind. Of course, we should also move away from conformity and be ready to fail and be satisfied that when you have a portfolio approach where if you think of a portfolio of stocks or bonds and other things, not every single instrument is going to fire. Similarly, not every single project is going to be successful. I think we have to be satisfied in having a portfolio approach, and a few subset of that might be successful. But failure is nothing to be disgraced about. And in fact, Silicon Valley was built on a lot of failures, and then people went on to be successful, and so on and so forth, right? So I think that approach of how do we provide focus, how do you provide, really pushing the boundaries. We have to change our culture to just being satisfied to being able to, make breakthroughs of that kind, right? So only that will win Nobel Prizes. Only that will win, real, impact potential. So in the service of that, we continue to provide broad-based horizontal support at our foundation, various kinds, including the interfaces of social sciences, humanities, and science and technology. That's our mandate. So that's why I was so pleased to hear about the TKDL focus and the Swastik, launch at the evidence-based and scientifically linked this thing. So we have so much to learn from our traditional knowledge, but then by combining it with an evidence-based approach and scientifically validated, that gives a lot more power. And then that can potentially scale because there's a lot more acceptance of that as well. Okay, so similarly, then the vertical side, we think of even uplifting the science and technology research ecosystem as a vertical focus. So we could do that in a more focused way. We have a program called PAIR, we have done PM professorships, there'll be many more things that we're doing, and so on. And then mission mode research, I'll briefly mention. We have recently launched a program around industry academic collaboration called A3. I'll mention that briefly. And then in our Apex role, we do a lot more things over there. And one of the initiatives I'm quite excited about is a program called Saral AI, which I'll briefly mention later. So if you look at our actual programs, it can sort of fit into this puzzle piece. So when ANRF launches programs, our goal is not to do things outside this frame. We don't want to do random programs in different areas. We want to do programs that are well linked to this and sort of clearly build out a portfolio. But of course, in the past we might have done other programs, but we may take some of the good elements of that and bake it into a few programs. So our goal is to do few things well rather than doing many things badly. So that's the general approach we'll take. So some recent programs are the PAIR program, which is a focus program around capacity development and so on. And we're doing many, many things as part of that PAIR. So it's a hub and spoke setup, a hub which is a successful institution helping the spokes really uplift faster, right? It is not just about giving money to the spokes. In fact, we give 70% of the money of this program goes to the spokes. But then the hub has an important role to really uplift and do this much faster than they could have done it themselves. Whether in terms of building research processes, whether in terms of collaborating for success, or research capacity development workshops, all of these things are things that are being done in this program. So similarly, we have early career research, we have mission mode programs. These are all some examples. Sorry, the fonts are a little bit off today. So another major thing that ANRF does is more vertically focused mission mode programs. So some of these are by sector. These are some of the examples we are doing. Some we are floating, we are seeing where they will be seeing. And also as part of this, ANRF is collaborating with different entities. So we have co-funding support from ICMR and the Gates Foundation for the MedTech program. We have partnerships with MIT in our AI program, as well as many of the science ministries are involved. And we are in discussions with CSIR on perhaps doing big programs together as well. I can't tell you all the details now, but there are things that we will be doing more broadly as well. And so we've been launching programs almost like dosas in a fast food restaurants. Okay, so every month, and it seems that I'm launching program. In fact, last week there was another program that was launched. So one of the big things that Honorable Prime Minister has asked us to do is to really focus on societal challenges as well, which are very difficult. But what is the science and technology? What is the innovation, research and innovation that can be used in service of this? How can we bring all of science and technology towards us? So we are also going to be launching something big in that space. How do we do more leapfrog innovation? It is not about doing more of the same or just hand-wringing that, okay, I'm worried about pollution, do something kind of thing. I mean, we have to do something which can actually make a big difference and also bring in the elements that can actually translate at scale and so on. Of course, there are around any technology element cannot be in isolation. It will have to be partnering with social sciences. It will have to be partnering with policy changes and so on. So I think as NIScPR uses its policy side of things, don't think of science and science policy in isolation, but how it can be broadly integrated with the rest of social sciences and how together it can come and solve societal problems or solve for value chains that can emerge out of India, whether we want to get more strategic or sovereign independence in some areas or sovereignty in some areas, but also become world class, right? So we need more opportunities because the world is a bigger market than India. India will grow. So wherever India is a market where we solve India's societal problems, where India itself is a consumer market, we should do that. And at the same time, build new world markets out of India because we have all the talent. We have to look into various areas. So we are looking at both of these. So we'll be launching this Maha format, mission mode programs in partnership with different ministries. So I've been inviting multiple ministries to come and talk to me, and we are quickly launching different programs. We are currently in discussions with MNRE around renewable energy, around Department of Telecom, around 6G. So over time, we'll be filling out a portfolio of many more things. Okay, I keep joking that picture abhi baki hai. We have many more things to to come. Okay. Okay. So just to give you one example of a program, this is another, since I love Hindi movies, this is like Hum Saath Saath Hai principle. So here, it's not, ANRF is an apex organization, but we are a collaborative apex organization. It's not like yes, our programs will be titled as a Maha Mission Mode program. However, we are in partnership with MIT, and they are the Ministry for the India AI mission. And along with that, with DRDO, we partner on engineering, we partner with different science ministries. We have MOES partnering with us on weather and climate, aligned with their mission MOUSM, with DBT, with the Bio AI hubs, and the Bio E3 policy. We are partnering on the AI for Bio and Life Sciences. And, we may be adding on more things over time. And also to broaden the impact, we are introducing a new format of open source challenges and contests to help engage a broader audience, and we'll be launching that shortly. And all the outcomes of this program is also done with an open license. Okay, so this is another aspect of policy and other research you may want to ponder, right? Because how do I accelerate the technology transition? In some of these areas, if you look at how China played the DeepSeek game and so on, one is, of course, they did a lot of innovation to put out a new open model that challenged the AI leaders and so on, but it was done with an open source approach, okay, so open license. So India has done wonderfully in our digital stack, India stack with Aadhaar, UPI and so on. So we're taking a similar approach here to say, how can I build an India stack of open models, but then we make it available to the world with a ANRF open license, which is based on an MIT license. So if you notice here on the right side, it looks like an India stack, just like we have Aadhaar and so on. We'll be building all of this. So this program is currently under evaluation. It's the first round. And this also brings AI with science and engineering. So different dimensions of science and engineering can come together with AI, and our scientists and engineers can work together with AI specialists, and and also transform how they do science, how they do engineering. And beyond that, it is not just enabling discoveries to come faster, but also how deep science accelerates to become deep tech. You cannot have deep tech without deep science. Okay, you need both the Einsteins and the Elon Musks. These are two different kinds of people. Okay, but I just use their name. We can of course use our own folks as well. Okay, you need both the Narayan Murthis, the Bhavish Agrawals or others who are the entrepreneurs, as well as C.V. Ramans and others who are the scientists. We need both, and only then the thing. But the fact that you're on an ecosystem that allows diffusion, and that is very important. So as you may want to think about communication and think more in terms of diffusion. Okay, diffusion, acceleration, and then impact. I mean, these are the three potential frames in which you can think and say, how are you going to be a catalyst for that? How do you ensure that happens? You cannot just say, I did something. Okay, but what is the impact of whatever you did? I think these are some things to ponder about. Okay, so coming to saying, ANRF is also trying to be a catalyst, and we want to celebrate our researchers. So in the way we think about our communication strategy is that whatever we do in our media side is not to just pump our own chests and say we are great, or we are a notice board, we are saying, okay, here's something interesting, here's a program and so on. That is necessary but not sufficient. We also want to give far more information. So we are doing a lot more webinars and so on. But what's more interesting is we are hosting talks by our researchers. So for example, we have given out a Prime Minister's Early Career Grant program. So we are having a lightning talk series every month that hosted by ANRF. We are giving a national platform for all of this. We already run 4 such sessions. Now we are now going to be partnering with many universities and regional things so that they can themselves host. And we will give them a format. It's almost like we have created the McDonald's and see how to do it, and we are franchising it out. And they can do this format and do many more of this. And then, of course, we will host it on our YouTube channels or other sorts of things. So the digital platforms give you a way to scale, okay? But you as a central institution, you should innovate and pioneer new formats, but you should also syndicate it and allow it to be diffused and more in a federated way. You can do a lot more. So that's why as ANRF we might be giving birth to new formats. So just like I saw NIScPR has given birth to other organizations. So we are giving birth to new formats, but we would like those formats to be picked up and we will be partnering NRF with other organizations. So if NIScPR would like to partner with us in various ways, we'd welcome new ideas and also observe what we are doing and give us some feedback, or take us into new directions we may not have done. So we are also very aggressive, and I was so pleased to hear that this is being live streamed. I've been encouraging all our research capacity development and all of that to be live streamed. So for example, in our pair programs, let's say IISc is doing something with a bunch of universities. They do it in Bangalore. Somebody else does it. IIT Indore might do it in Indore, and Rourkela might do it in that area. But what about the rest? Right. So, if somebody can participate locally, that's great. But the rest can take advantage of a platform that can reach out. So I think we'd be looking at more aggressive dissemination and more consolidation of this. So in our YouTube channels, we have created playlists for research capacity development. We are creating more different kinds of playlists and these sorts of things, right? So I think it's important to be far more aggressive in terms of both the types, formats, and so on that we can use, and look at it as an integrated whole. So we look at social impact to amplify the impact, celebrate researchers, and also we are using it as a way to communicate better with our stakeholders. In fact, I personally, sort of field questions, and when we announce the results of a program, I got some complaints. Not everybody is happy, and people who are unhappy tend to talk more about it. So, but just the very fact that a leader can talk to the constituents, and then that helps ease of doing business. And when we have grievances that come directly, it's not just a portal that goes into some magical thing, but we invite these sorts of things. So this has helped build more confidence in the community as well. So the engagement and the nature of engagement is very important. We've also built channels for various of our missions and other sorts of things, which helps amplify this. Finally, one of the things I'm super proud of as well as we're doing is we are partnering with an open source project called Saral AI. Of course, we'll be supporting them more as well. This is part of the broader mission of diffusion I mentioned. So one of the nice things that AI can do is that it can take one form of knowledge and then automatically convert it into a summary, or it can actually convert it into something that speaks to a different. For example, it can take a nature paper or some complex paper, or you have a wonderful archive of journals and so on. You could consider taking the top articles from your journals, or from the TKDL library. You could take top things, and then you could use some of these tools that we already have built. We have partnered with Bhashini. We support 19 languages. I was also pleased to see that you have support for many languages as well. And we actually convert a paper to video automatically, like in almost like a one click. You can take a technical paper and convert it into a simplified, or what we call saralified, video. Okay, and then in fact we have also a Chrome extension for that now. What that means is in archive and other things, these are all open publishing things. So I can go to any paper in archive, and if I'm a student, and I can say saralify this paper for me. So then it will take the paper, convert it into a video. Oh, it can be in any language. It can be in Assamese, it can be in Tamil, it can be in Gujarati, what have you, right? So and this set of languages will expand over time. So this is part of, I think, you have primary media in which you publish, and then you have and those primary media are becoming more open. Okay, and then you can create secondary media. Not just by giving talks and webinars and so on, which is more the human part. You can now use AI to amplify it. Now the same paper, you can say what is the industry impact for it, and then you can create a technology brief. We can also do this with patents now. We have extended Saral with patents, and nowadays our kids are on Instagram, Reels, and all of that, right? So guess what? We can do paper to Reels. So I take a paper, convert to YouTube. Paper to Reels, paper to whatever, Twitter, and so on, right? Single button click. So we keep joking that researchers are so great at writing papers, but they may not be perfect in social media. So, but we are trying to help with this, and this will help and just think of it at the India scale, right? So if I look at somebody who's trying to have their paper, they write great work, they do great work, right? You want science to have impact. Now you can just say, okay, I put a paper, and that's it, I'm done. Or maybe I do give a talk somewhere, I'm done. So, but now, we have webinars, we have this. Okay, now if you can click a button, now you're there on all social media. So you're suddenly amplified through the secondary media, a lot of this. And now you add to that, make all the results available on common platforms, make the data available, and so on. So the potential for others to benefit from your work, to be able to verify, validate your work, And then this will drive a lot more combinatorial innovation, and India will be a far more vibrant place. So we think of this as a lot more fundamental than just like an interesting tool, right? So again, we are going to be doubling down and doing a lot more things on this. So again, invite NIScPR. I know I've been bugging Geeta around this many times, but we'll see what are the interesting things we can do about this. So we think of this as also part of what we can do in terms of an Anusandhan community platform to be able to connect people together. And AI is also very good at doing matchmaking, like a shadi.com kind of thing, right? So that kind of stuff, we can do all of that, especially around content, different formats, different modes, and so on. And then, who knows, magic will happen somewhere. Okay, anyway, I think just to wrap up, we do many other things. We are doing partnerships with different entities, but it will be fundamentally ANRF programs where partners can contribute. We are also planning a master platform. We are working on this, and we'll be partnering with Nithya, we'll be partnering with others. Again, as you have these interesting things, I was so keen to see the swastik and other things. So we should make sure that we link up with these, with Anumapi, which we are building. It's coming up, we'll be iterating on this. Okay, this is just a mock-up of what's possible. So again, in true social media format, you can connect with us on any of our linkages and so on. And Jai Hind, happy to take any questions. Do you want any questions? Okay. Should I take any further questions?
If anyone want to ask anything, then how's it? Yeah.
Research thing in the Northeast and all. So are you also going to have some sort of cell for the Northeast specifically?
Currently, we are just focused on a full overall national thing. So we will partner with the Ministry of Northeast and other things as required. So NRF is more of a pan-national entity. At this point, since we are fairly new, I've been in my job only for 9 months. We are really focusing on launching national programs, not for any particular region or sector. But as we do societal innovation, the Northeast could propose something which is specific for them, and that makes sense, and so on and so forth. But we are not doing anything regional at this point.
And so what? The minister's one nation one subscription, So this, what you showed, that cognitive, that research paper to a video.
Yeah.
So how is that going to work?
Excellent question. So we are in conversation with the entity that is doing the ONO's One Nation, One Subscription thing. So that, One Nation, One subscription gives you access to the journals, right? But this can take primary media and convert it to secondary media. Okay, so we are in conversations with InflibNet, which is the library portion, which takes care of that. So wherever we already have the the licenses, so that we can take the primary papers and create a secondary content, we can do that. Wherever we have open access, we can do that. Okay, and one of the things we're doing with InflibNet is to make sure that all the research that is published out of India, they store all the preprints of those papers. So even before it goes into final publication, the preprints are available. All the thesis is available there. So we'll be partnering with them as well to making that available. So I would encourage NIScPR to take advantage of the wonderful CSIR libraries and also do that. So this will create a wall of secondary media available, which will make it more subtle for people to pick it up and so on. But that's a great question, and we are in the journey with them. It'll take a little bit more time, but we are in court. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for helping us understand ANRF vision, its program, its strategy, and its significant role in strengthening national research and innovation system. Next, I invite Dr. Kanika Malik, Chairperson, Foundation Day Committee, to propose vote of thanks.
Thank you, Shubhda. At the outset, I extend my warm greetings to everyone present and wish you all a very happy Makar Sankranti. May this auspicious festival of harvest and new beginnings bring prosperity, good health, and renewed energy to all of us. Respected Chief Guest, Dr. Shivkumar Kalyanaraman, distinguished guest of honor, Dr. Vishwajanani Satyagiri, respected Director, Dr. Geetha Vani Raisam, esteemed colleagues, distinguished guests, dear scholars, media persons, and friends. It is my proud privilege to propose the vote of thanks on the occasion of Foundation Day celebration of CSIR-NISpR. I express my sincere and heartfelt gratitude to our chief guest, Dr. Shivkumar Kalyanaraman, for gracing this occasion for delivering an inspiring distinguished lecture. Your insights into research, innovation, and the evolving national research ecosystem have truly motivated us and provided valuable guidance. Thank you, sir. I extend my deep appreciation to our guest, Dr. Vishwajanani Satyagiri, for her gracious presence and her thoughtful address, which greatly enriched today's program. Thank you, ma'am. I take this opportunity to thank our respected director, Dr. Geeta Vani Raisam, for her visionary leadership, constant encouragement, and unwavering support in advancing the mission of CSIR-NISpR. Thank you so much, ma'am. We are grateful for the successful launch of the Swastik portal, which marks an important milestone for the Institute. I congratulate all those involved in conceptualizing and executing this initiative. My sincere thanks goes to the students and the faculty members of Dronacharya College of Engineering for joining us today and celebrating CSIR-NISpR's Foundation Day with great enthusiasm. I also acknowledge the enthusiastic participation of our ACSIR students and research scholars for their poster presentations, which will reflect the vibrant research culture at CSIR-NISpR. I would also like to express my heartfelt gratitude to the esteemed jury and the members and other judges from CSIR, ICAR, and DST for kindly accepting our request to evaluate the poster presentations. I extend my heartfelt thanks to all the members of the organizing committee, administrative staff, technical teams, and supporting staff whose dedicated efforts ensured the smooth and the successful conduct of today's program. I would like to place on record our sincere appreciation for the Science Media Communication Cell team, along with our esteemed media partners, Doordarshan National, Doordarshan Urdu, All India Radio, PIT, Press Information Bureau, for their valuable support in amplifying the reach and impact of our Foundation Day celebrations. Last but not the least, I thank each one of you for your valuable presence and for making this Foundation Day celebration meaningful and memorable. With these words, I once again extend my sincere thanks to all. Thank you. Jai Hind.
थैंक यू मैम. आप सभी से अनुरोध है कि कृपया राष्ट्रगान के लिए अपने स्थान पर
सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंगा तब शुभ नामे तब शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तब जय गाथा जाने गाने मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय जय जय.
Next segment is our poster presentation, which is arranged in the front lawn. So I request all the dignitaries, guests, and participants to view the posters and interact with the researchers. And yes, we have a group photograph in main lawn. So I request all of you to please join for a group photograph.